are gonna get better now. But you're still a drunken slob. Things are gonna get better.
You know what time it is. It's Friday. And it's time for your favorite show. And you know what we do on Fridays? That's right. The top 50 albums of all time. The countdown continues. As always, yours truly, Scummalicious. Yeah, you can tell. I'm ready to go. I always get excited when I get to talk about Face to Face. You know, I often refer to them as the C-Town Band because of Doug Gardner, a fellow C-Towner, alumni, went to high school together in Sheridan, aka Little Chicago. Yeah, so it's a little sentimental whenever I talk about Face to Face. And you know what? Population like 4,800, but the intensity of C-Town makes it feel like 480,000. Wow, Don't Turn Away. Number 13 of all time. And just listening to it over the last week, as I always do, kind of get my mind right when I'm reviewing these albums. I want to make sure that I'm doing it right, giving them the proper attention that they deserve. I kept telling myself, maybe this should be higher than 13, right? Well, this is the second Face to Face album in the top 50, and I'm going to give a little nugget away right here. The first three, I've mentioned this 1,000 times. Big Choice, self-titled, Don't Turn Away, are in my top 50 all time. I've already said that. So, I've done Big Choice. I'm getting ready to do Don't Turn Away. That only leaves self-titled left. I know. We're like, what the hell are you doing? That means it's the self-titled's in the top 12. Yeah, but I'm not giving you the exact number. I do know how much I love this band. That's, you know, it's not a secret that these three albums were going to be in my top 50. We just didn't know where. Very interesting little side note to this as well. This debut was actually technically the fourth album I bought. Big Choice. I've told the story. First CD I ever purchased. That's one reason why that thing is so important to me. And the self-titled. I bought that cassette. When I listen to that, I immediately think of Arizona. And I've mentioned this before too. That cassette stayed in my car stereo for literally 3 months. I never got tired of it. An incredible album. But when I got back to Iowa, their live record, they had released it, and talk about a great live record. Another reason why I love this band. What you hear on the discs is what you hear live. Trever Keith just brings it every time vocally. But, you know, I heard I'm Trying, Pastel, I Want. I thought, wow, these are really great songs, and they're off the debut. And I knew the debut was good. I just didn't know to what extent. I ordered it in the mail. Yes, one of the last of the ancient people walking around. Mail order. Wow. What a purchase. And just like the two before it, non-stop for months. And let's do it. Let me explain why this album is so important to me. Trever Keith, guitar and vocals, Matt Riddle on bass. You know how much I love Matt Riddle. Pole A, no use for a name. And Rob Kurth on drums. 1992, Doctor Strange Records. And now, I do believe that Fat Wreck owns that album. I wouldn't be surprised, and maybe they have. For me personally, I hate it. The whole remixing and mastering of some of these CDs, especially when it's a punk CD. Leave it alone. Whatever way it was recorded initially, leave it that way. It's a punk album. That's just my opinion. And I mentioned this too. The Queers with Beyond the Valley of the Ass Fuckers, they remixed that. I think it sounds way worse than the original. Just leave it alone. I'm trying to remember who owns those albums now, but originally it was on Hopeless. And so the new record label, they want to put their hands on it and I guess, put their little stamp on the record. Fucking ruined it. Well, they didn't ruin it. You can't ruin a Queers record, but they should have fucking left it alone. Alright. So, this album kicks off. You've Done Nothing. You don't know what you want to be. You don't know what you want to do. Never going to amount too much of anything. So what's the difference if you win or lose? Well, isn't that something? You've done nothing wrong, and it's never your fault. You've done nothing, do. So really, it just kicks right in. There's no, any intro. We just get right into the song at the beginning. And it's a good song, but it is by far not the best song here. And that's saying a lot right there. Think about what I just said there. It's a good song, but by far not the best song on the album. And that's just the beginning track. I'm Not Afraid. To me, this is when Don't Turn Away starts turning into an epic album. Yes, the word epic was just used. I didn't want a second chance. Now that's exactly where I am. Back where I didn't want to be. I've never been afraid of you. I never will admit the truth. I know there's something I can do. And I wrote this here. Trever sounds great as always, but his voice is a little higher. You could tell he's younger singing these songs. It doesn't quite have the power. Hey, I've said this for a long time now. He is a great singer, and I cannot believe I left him off my top 10 punk singers. That's my mistake. But he has a big voice, and he brings it. And he still sounds really good on here. Don't get me wrong. There's a lot of more rawness to his voice, and I like it. And you can hear the bass in all the songs, and it's not like a deep bass tone. That's fine. I don't care. At least I can hear it. I know it's there. And even with the raw production, Face to Face writes such great songs. The rawness is still good, but the songs are so much better. It just doesn't matter. It really doesn't. When you write good music, in a way, most people don't care about the production. I said most people. Song 3, Disconnected. The original. Of course, Disconnected is also on Big Choice. And I know why they did that now. What an amazing song. And after listening to both versions, the Don't Turn Away version and the Big Choice version, I think I do like Big Choice. I just talked about how I love the production of this album, but I just like his voice better on the updated version. And the guitar solo sounds a little bit better. In the end, though, they're both. It's just a great song. So, both versions kick ass. You Don't Know a Thing About Me. And I think you know these words by now, but I'm going to remind you. And if you don't know these words, I'm crossing you off the Christmas list. You ain't getting no fucking Christmas card from me. That upsets me. You should know some of these lyrics by now. Is there something that you should know? I can tell you what you want to hear. Let your inhibitions just go. We get that awesome chorus, right? No, you don't know what you will give up. You don't know what you want, and it may take you years to find out. 20-something. I was in my 20s listening to all this stuff, and that's some of the stuff that I would think about. Shit, I still think about it. 20 years later. I know what you're saying. Well, fucking grow up. I can't. I'll never grow up. I'll never change. It's just who I am. It's like I was telling Gertrude yesterday. And by the way, Gertrude is real. I ain't making her up. I told her, this is who I am. I'm immature. I'm loud and obnoxious. And sometimes I fart and I make her smell them. Number 4, no authority. There is nothing you can do about it. Dun, dun, dun. And Rob Kurth does a nice little drum fill on the song. Dun, 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 dun. And I'm really not giving it justice with that terrible impersonation of a drum. I didn't do it any justice. There's someone who knows everything there is to know. There's someone who is too afraid to let it show. Isn't that the truth, though? We all know somebody like that. They know everything. You tell them, and they keep talking. It's like the one-up thing. Hey, I've been to Disneyland. Oh, yeah? Well, I've been to Disney World. Really? Well, I've been to Six Flags. Yeah? Well, I've been to Worlds of Fun. You know, there's always that one person that's always got to one-up you on everything. That's what this song kind of reminds me of. But then we always get to that meaty part of a face-to-face song, the chorus. They all stick in your head. Wouldn't you know something is going wrong? Wouldn't you know something is really wrong? No, no, you have no authority. No, no, no. Not who I want to be, right? And that's a lot of face-to-face right there. A lot of self-reflection, especially in their earlier music. A lot of looking in the mirror, which I do a lot of that too. In fact, I just got done doing that. I was looking in the mirror. I said, what are you going to do different today, huh? Scummy? What are you going to do different today that you didn't do yesterday? Well, I kind of styled my hair different. I did. You know, I kind of let some of the hair down a little bit. I didn't comb it all to one side. That's some really gripping information right there, I can tell. Number 5, I want. Da, 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 da. Oh, I really love the intro to this song. It's got a great little intro riff, which is the main part of the chorus. And he plays this, it's just a simple little lead note, but it just always sounds so good. For whatever reason, it always makes the song sound better. You know, he's face-to-face will never be confused with guitar shredders, which that's the idea. What do I always say? More than anything else, and I say a lot of the same shit over and over, it's always about the song, as it should be. Everybody wants the truth, but everybody lies. Everybody wants some proof, but everybody's blind. I want to know, will do these words mean anything? How can this lie mean something more than what it seems? Yeah, And then we get that main riff again with the little lead guitar. Dun, 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 dun. Ah, you just gotta listen to it. It's good stuff. Those little things, those are important too. Song 6. You've got a problem. I'm not calling you out. That's what Trever Keith is saying. You got a problem. So, what's the problem this time? I thought you'd learn by now that nothing ever works out right. And then later on he says, there's only so much you can squander from a feeble mind. Isn't that a great line? That kind of works for me. You don't have much of a brain anyway, it's kind of malicious. So if you lose your mind, it's not like you're losing much. You dummy. You asshole. And then we get, you've got a problem with your life. You've got a problem with your mind. And it's a good song. And it's not a filler. But basically there's two songs. Alright? You've got a problem, and I'll talk about the other one here in a little bit. Walk Away. That just kind of aren't on the same level as the other songs, but they're really good. That's what I'm telling you. To have this album at number 13, I don't know. I got to question myself a little bit. Did I really take time to consider what I'm doing here? Song 7, Everything is Everything. This is one of those songs that over time, it just kept growing on me. Every time I listened to it, I liked it more. And now it's like one of my favorite songs from it. We got a lot of questions. We've got a lot to learn. So tired of solving problems. Too many bridges burned. Why should we understand it? What good is knowing why? And I know something in my life will change again. And I love this part. When he sings again, then we get some backup vocals from Matt and Rob. Whoa, again. Trever sings that part, and then the band. Whoa, I'm telling you. Yeah, obviously I fucking destroyed them right there. They do them really well though. And then we get a different riff, and you know Face to Face likes to do that. I'm tired of running these circles in my life. I've seen the future. It changes before my eyes. And then we get back to that main chorus again. Again, whoa, I'm telling you, just a catchy ass song. That's what Face to Face does. And you know, and I was thinking about a greatest hits album for Face to Face, and their entire discography. It really would be. And I did this. I kind of did their greatest hits album. You could literally take all three of those first three albums, and then the last one they just did Protection, and I'd be okay with that. And I hate dismissing their other albums like that, especially a couple of them. They've really grown on me over time, but boy, these first three are so fucking good. It's just hard to beat them. Then we get I'm Trying. First time I heard this was on the live album, and I like the intro. Once again, it's all about the little melodic notes that Trever Keith plays, and nice bass line from Matt Riddle. He really shines on this entire album. A 40-year-old at play, shot and killed today, never even had a chance. 17 and high, threw away his life, has a gun to feel like he's the man. Can't have it any other way, no. And that is a face-to-face song that you don't get a lot. Kind of their take on, you know, what's going on around them. Because like I said earlier, a lot of, especially their earlier stuff, is self-reflecting. But here, Trever Keith's kind of tell you about all the bad shit that's happening. And we all know there's plenty of bad shit that's happening to this day, which sucks. Then we get to Pastel. really fast little slide riff. He slides back and forth between us. It's a neat little trick, and he kind of makes it sound easier than it is. It is a simple little thing that guitars do, but to me, I like it. Let's just put it that way. As a garage guitarist, I appreciate it. Another falls in place. You wonder, in You're Only Human, it's blood, dust, and paste. We're held together by a single thread. Must be a reason for us to justify it. Okay, then we get a different tempo. This is towards the middle of the song, and it's a variation of that main riff, but it's mainly the bass. Do, 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 do. You know, Matt Riddle, and then Trever Keith plays a couple of single notes. I don't want a game that I don't want to play. Just go away. Just go away. And then they speed it up. Oh, I love this part. Once again, another simple thing that they do, but it sounds so good. Dun, 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 dun. The guitar riff is awesome, and then Matt Riddle plays that nice little bass line that I just did. That dun, 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 dun. It's more of my amazing sound effects. Well, I think they sound amazing to me anyway. But that part in that song is worth the whole song. I'm telling you, pastel. Trust me on this. Then we get Nothing New. There's another song, Over Time. I liked it the first time I heard it, but over time, now I love it. One of their best. There's nothing new put in front of you, nothing you don't understand. Don't try to rationalize. No one hears your lies. Only you can comprehend. And Trever, between the verses, plays an octave chord fill. Basically, he skips a string. I'm using kind of a complicated term, especially for garage guitars. Face to Face uses a lot. It just adds melody to the song. And then he sings, please don't question me, I don't have the time. If there's a problem that it's easier to set aside, there is nothing that will make you want to change your mind. You can't take it, you can't make it. Just that, it's got a perfect chord progression too. Just the way they write songs is, and of course Trever Keith writes most of. Now the earlier stuff, I think Matt Riddle helped a little bit on some of that. I think, if I read that right somewhere. Either way, guys know what they're doing when it comes to songwriting. Here's one of the songs I was talking about. Remember? Walk Away. And this is what I wrote on this song. I wrote the chorus part. Walk away, walk away. I know, I'm kind of selling it short, but it's a good song. I just couldn't wait to talk about the next song, number 12. Do You Care? Oh, this is just classic face to face here. Do you want to make a difference? Do you wonder what would happen if you don't? Do you need just a little push? Do you try to change? And I'm telling you, the chorus, as always, so damn catchy. You're running out of time, and I don't see a change in you, and I don't think you're gonna make it. Dun, 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 dun. And once again, Trever Keith plays a couple power chords, and then Matt Riddle just going to town on the bass guitar. So good. Matt Riddle, you kick ass on this shit. You kick ass in everything that you do. Anyway, then we get to the closer, 1,000 Times. Great way to end this album. I've tried to ask the question. Must be a million answers that just aren't there. You try to find yourself. I'll try to live my life. I just don't care. 'Cause I've been down and I've been out. I've been down this road 1,000 times. Nothing ever looks the same. It seems to me there's something more I might never see 1,000 times. Yeah. Rob and Matt do some good, do more good work with the backup vocals. And like I said, Good way to end this masterpiece. I know, that's another word I fucking just use over and over, but I don't care. It fits, and I'm going to post it on my Facebook page. So after I post the podcast, you can just click on the album and listen to that bad boy. Listen to it all day. It'll be good for you, for your weekend. Trust me on this. Alright, you know how I do this. Take it easy, and if it's easy,